Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to Inner Jenny's Corner. Welcome to the Get Sense with the Jenny show. I am so happy to be here like every single Saturday or every single time that I'm here. How are you all doing? Put in the chat, say I'm doing okay, I'm doing amazing, I'm doing unbelievable. I'm doing unbelievable. Listen, no matter what you're going through, no matter how your day may be going, your circumstances, whatever, just say you're doing unbelievable. Because it's the same energy you're going to use to say, I'm not doing okay, and tell this long story about what you have to complain about. See, we all have issues, right? But if you say I learned this from being in Las Vegas early this year, and the guy said things were so bad for him, finances, marriage, God knows what else. But guess what? Whenever he says unbelievable, he feels better. And then it gives him ideas on maybe what choices to make or what decisions to make or what to do. So when somebody asks you, how are you? Just say unbelievable. How's the family? Unbelievable. How's the business? Unbelievable. How's work? Unbelievable. The person will be wondering, they want to know, you know, why do you say unbelievable? Listen, he said it's because it's the same energy you're going to use to say not good, everything is bad, terrible, complain. Yes, it's your reality, but if it's your reality, then you can speak into that reality by saying it's unbelievable. I mean, what do you have to lose? Right? And my mentor, Terry Seville Foy, always says that when you complain, you remain. Whenever you complain about your situation, whenever you complain about what's going on with you, guess what? You remain there. So the same energy, the same energy you're going to use to say something negative or complain, you can use the same energy to say unbelievable. Welcome, my mentors here. Vivienne, thank you for being the first one here. Always, I appreciate you. Always, always. Then, if you're in America, this past week was our what? Thanksgiving. What happened? I froze for a second. This past Thursday was our Thanksgiving week, our Thanksgiving day. We celebrated being grateful, right? Thank you everybody for coming. If I haven't thanked you, if you're in the bushes still watching, welcome anyway. Thank you for being here. So we had Thanksgiving. It was such a blast. Every year I have a blast. We go to our friend's house. We why am I behind? Sorta. I see myself pausing for a second. Anyway, so happy Thanksgiving if you're in the US. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you had every reason to be thankful, right? No matter what we are going through, hey, just be grateful. Grateful you're alive. Grateful you're alive. All right. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Now, last week we talked about excuses in relationships. That was hilarious. That was, to me, one of the best shows because of the laughter, the engagement in the audience, and all of that. So I appreciate everybody who was there to make it so much fun. But I hope, most importantly, that everybody got something out of it. Don't remind me. It was about the claps. It was excuses in relationship. Oh, and then I don't know how we jumped between Joe and Vivian and Oyeka. It became this show of the claps. It was hilarious, but that was nice. So on a more serious, that was a serious. I mean, my shows are serious yet fun, and I always promise you guys on this show we're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're going to learn, right? And our aim is to educate you, motivate you, inspire, and awaken you, hopefully. And I always say, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. I still have a lot of learning to do on a daily basis as a mom, as a wife, as just a human being, as a daughter. I'm learning every day. My mom is getting older, so I'm seeing new versions of her that I have to continue to learn. Or is it my husband and I'm learning every single day. My kids and I'm learning it at my my business, everything. I'm learning every single day. So this show is a learning process. It's my chronicle for me as I transform, as I reinvent myself. Hopefully you get reinvented as well and you get transformed as well. And I hope you share this show with everybody you know, everybody you love. Um, I will try not to share controversial topics, But sometimes you just have to go there and know that, again, I'm not an expert, but I'm an expert in my experience and being here and being the host of the show and all of that good stuff. All right, let's jump into it. Today, we're hoping to be here for 20 minutes. Today, we're hoping lots of clapping. We're trying to avoid the topic of clapping. So today's topic, I kind of want to veer into something more serious that I take personal, and that's abuse in relationships. Listen, a lot of times abuse creeps up on you. Yes. You jump into a relationship, you're doing all you're fine, you love, and then you find out that it's not what you thought it was gonna be based on um what starts to happen. All right. The negative thing that starts to happen. And for me, I wanted to talk about toxicity in a relationship. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me just jump in and then we go from there as it flows. All right. So I always like to define things, right? Abuse. What is abuse? People are like, "Oh, it's not when like Nigeria say idiot, you're mad. That's abuse." No. Abuse, I'll define my own, I'll have my own definition. So um abuse is using something to bad effect or for a bad purpose, right? Another definition is treating a person or an animal with cruelty, violence, especially regularly or repeatedly. So that's close to kind of what I define abuse to be. Or you can say cruel and violent treatment of a person. That's it. Cruel treatment of a person or an animal. But in this point, we're talking about a human being. When you're being cruel to somebody unnecessarily, they don't deserve to be, right? Neither an animal. An animal does not deserve to be treated cruelly, period. So here's the scenario. Two people fall in love, supposedly. They fall in love. The love covers everything else that is supposed to be true, right? Of course, the man doesn't know that she's abusive. She doesn't know he's abusive. Or maybe he has like a temperament that she didn't know about, but the love covers it all. While researching this show and talk and kind of thinking about it to see what I'm really going to talk about and what my message is, I saw that there were different categories of abuse. Almost there's psychological, there's emotional, there's financial. I didn't process financial just yet, but I've seen it. And I think I will break down these topics as we go other shows because this show is going to be like series one, two, three. And I want women, men to come on board and talk about abuse. And the reason why we're talking about this, hey, Benny, long time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, you guys, let me confess what I did to Benny. So, on my Instagram show with Vivian, she and Maru were the first two people to show up. And I promised them a gift. Send the gift. I send the gift to myself. You know how you're supposed to put the address? I even asked her for her address. You're supposed to put the address on there. Let it go to her. I send the address to anyway, long story. So Benny, I didn't forget you. I keep to my words, okay? Sorry about that. Yeah, so there are different kinds of abuse. When you fall in love, that love kind of covers everything you're supposed to see. And now there are different kinds of abuse. And to me, at some my previous relationship long time ago, I know that I was abused emotionally and otherwise. The person may not mean to, but that's just what it is. Like they speak to you rudely. But let me get to this part first. A lot of times, an abuse in a relationship starts from toxicity. Some people are fuming with toxins in their body. Toxic. They have toxic character, toxic behavior, toxic everything, but you don't see it. They will first act nice because if you saw that first, then of course you won't love them or whatever. But some women still sit and jump in. At least make I marry. At least let me be married. At least let me have somebody that treats me special. But there's verbal abuse, man. That I don't know how to compare verbal abuse and physical abuse. I don't know. I mean, physical abuse can kill you. So I mean, I have, maybe we'll have a debate, but then that's not a good debate because what are we getting to, right? But abuse is a no-no in a relationship where there's supposed to be love. Period. If there's no love and respect and regard and teamwork and all that stuff, then you all should really sit down and ponder what you guys are doing in any relationship whatsoever. Whether you're just dating or whether you're married. There has to be that point where you guys keep having I always call this thing midpoint checks. Hey, it's been 3 months. Let's check. Well, how are we doing? What should we stop doing? What should we start doing? And what should we continue doing? There are some things that in a relationship you have to give high five. Hey, we're doing great here. But these areas we're not doing good, how do we fix it? And everybody comes to the table with an open mind because guess what? You hope to have a good relationship. Good relationship means respect, regard, love, all that good stuff. Teamwork, your goals are in line, all that good stuff, right? And if it's anything less than that, then it's not a good relationship, period. There is good and there's bad. There's no in between. There is no, we are there, Sha. No. It's either you have a good relationship or there's good communication, all that good stuff. So abuse is when somebody is being cruel to the other. All right. And let me share some signs in my own, for example, and not just me, a lot of people I'm talking to, a lot of female I'm talking to. If you go to social media, you will see. In fact, somebody sent me a text Thursday. We were chatting from Thursday until yesterday, and she was thinking about committing suicide. That's how I knew this topic is relevant right now. She's in a very bad, toxic marriage. When I say toxic, toxic. She is the 100% provider in the family. She's the one managing the kids and all that, and her husband talks to her any which way he likes. So she caters for rent. I mean, she's her children are her motivators to stay alive. That is bad, guys. That is terrible. See, women, men, if you're being abused and you know that you are, make a decision. I'm not encouraging anybody to divorce, so, but divorce is not so bad if you have to take yourself or just separate yourself from that situation. If it's that bad to where you're thinking about killing yourself, that means it's gotten up to here. You've had it up to here. She's in this case, there's physical abuse. All right. So these are the signs I would share. If you're in a relationship and you're not sure if it's abusive or not, some people cannot define it. If you're not being treated nicely, then there's something wrong. What do you mean by not treating you nicely? If he's rude in public to you, like unexpectedly rude. I mean, nobody ever expects to be spoken to rudely. But if there's that open disrespect when you're together, like what are you talking about? Do you even have sense? Are you smart? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? That to me, that's already abuse. I beg. As simple as that may sound, nobody, if you say you love me and we are here, whether dating or married, and we are supposed to share something amazing, those words should not be used with the same lips. Are you mad? Are you for real? Are you insane? Are you crazy? Are you an idiot? Oh, you're an idiot. No, it shouldn't be. That's beginning of toxic relationship where instead of the love is replaced with like a bad, you understand, like a bad communication or bad words being exchanged. No, that's not acceptable. All right. Um, like here it says that an abusive relationship isn't just limited to physical violence. It can include sexual, emotional, physical, and may involve control of finances. That one just got me. So when somebody starts to have controlling behavior, like for example, if you're on the phone and they're asking you, who are you talking to? Who is that? Who is the person? And you say, oh, I'm talking to Sam. Who is Sam? Sam is my cousin. I don't know that cousin. Let me talk to him and see who he is. That's a no-no. You should trust me enough to know that I will not be on the phone with who somebody in any way that will violate our vows. Do you get? It shouldn't be. I'm just saying. So number one, when the person starts having controlling. So moderator, so signs of an abusive relationship. Number one, I have to type it out. When they start having controlling and possessive behavior, it starts from there. In the relationship, they don't want you to hang out with your friends. You can't hang out with when they're with you. They don't want to hang out with their friends, and when you're with them, they don't want you to hang out with your friends. And when you're together, so number one, controlling. So signs of an abusive relationship: controlling and possessive behavior. Where there are certain things they have to control, whether you should work or not work, whether I should get involved in a business or not, what kind of friends to make or not. Do you understand? Like they start getting too involved in your personal life. Because listen, in the relationship, you both have to still be individuals. You still both have to be individuals. Be individuals, thriving in your personal life, and then you're together anyway. So the best part of you comes together, and then you work on the worst parts of you as yourselves, if that makes sense at all, right? So checking on you, monitoring you, all that monitoring spirit vibes, not at all. That's not acceptable. So you have to draw the line. You have to have boundaries. These are my friends. I'm gonna hang out with my friends. Hey Opwene, thank you so much. I have my folks that are here all the time. My season guests. God bless you guys for being here. You could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here. God bless you. Today we are oh my god, it's already 16 minutes. Jeez, wow. Wow, woo. Okay. I'm gonna try. Okay, let's do 25 minutes, but let me try in the 20 minutes. Let's see. All right, let me talk real quickly. Um, Jealousy is another one. Jealousy, insecurity, and jealousy. Put jealousy and insecurity and jealousy. When they start being insecure that either you earn more money or they earn more money or something, they are jealous of maybe how you are, maybe you're too social, they're understanding, all of that stuff. When you start seeing little signs of, yes, so number one, controlling and possessive. Number two, jealousy. Number three, insecurities. When somebody's insecure in themselves, they'll be secure in a relationship and they will drive you nuts, and that comes about giving you unrest because you can't do anything perfect without them jumping on you about something that you're not even thinking about, right? There was one time where in my oh god, I don't want to start giving examples and exposing myself, but seriously speaking, I don't want to be too personal, but at some point in time on this show, I will share some things because it's real. You fall in love and you don't see these things, and then you see this person. Some people just have their own insecurities that they have not handled. You have to handle those things. If you who's here on this show, you have insecurities from your past, please leave it in your past. Don't bring it in this current relationship. And if it's in this relationship, you better watch yourself because you're going to scatter this relationship based on that. And if it's not from past experience and it's just from you just thinking about life and you've become insecure for some reason, you have to cut that out. Depends on how you value this relationship. All right. The next one is put downs. Oh my gosh. Put downs. Let me tell you what that means. You dress nice. You know you're looking fly. You know you're looking amazing. And this person you're in a relationship with sees you and says, you look too fat. You don't look nice. Why are you wearing that? You want to go and attract those men? You want to go and attract women outside? You want, like way off of what you're thinking. Meanwhile, you came out all dressed for your partner to say, wow, my honey looks amazing. My sweetheart looks beautiful, looks handsome, looks incredible. Nope. They turned the whole thing around to being negative. Listen, that's a sign that you're in a relationship that has K-leg. You understand? K-leg or bull leg. You're in a relationship that has issues, right? Another thing is threats. When they tell you, say, if I, you know that African way of saying, if I come on, I will just slap your face. I will just once you start here, it does. So maybe it's just me. If I'm making sense, please, I want to see some fire, some emojis on the chat. We are almost done, guys. And the next show, I will break it down. I may bring somebody on or not. I may break down, give examples. We might have a panel people talk about, because it starts from being toxic to all these things. So break down. You can go and research yourself. In jealousy in a relationship, it causes, the worst part of it is death. I'm dead. Everything I've mentioned to you right now, the worst part of it is death. People are dying. People are killing themselves, killing others, all because of these things in a relationship. It is really not that serious. You have to be mentally ready somehow to be in a relationship. That means caring for somebody. Some things you have to compromise, some things you have to overlook, some things you have to just deal with it, but don't settle for rubbish just because you want to be in a relationship. I know a lot of times society pushes us to want to be in a relationship. There are young girls in schools that are being hurt by their boyfriends. There are boys in schools being hurt by their girlfriends just because they want to have. Listen, it's not that serious. The way the young kids are going now, you see a school, they schedule a fight. Those two people who are fighting and have agreed to fight, they have self-esteem challenges, for low self-esteem or none at all. To not focus on the school you're going to and decide you want to fight. What if you fight and hurt somebody, the person dies? That's a whole different thing. If the person doesn't die, the person is hurt badly. Abuses, even in friendships, in high school friendships, in regular friendships, there are there abuse. You will see girls cannot talk, guys cannot talk. I talked to somebody last week, a guy. Hey Joe is here. Joe, no clapping today. Vivian, no clapping. Where's Onyeka? No clapping. We're talking about abuse. There's somebody in our live stream that she has, in fact, everybody here has a story. And I want them to come on and talk about it, because our young people don't know. They think it's love. If your boyfriend slaps you out of joke, it's not a joke. If you touch me, I'll break your head. Oh, na play. But no, it's not acceptable, guys. So we've talked about abuse in relationships. Sometimes you don't get to, sometimes you don't imagine it because you're so in love with this person. And when the first time they hit you, or the first time they say something, the first time they do something, because you're so shocked, you don't accept it as you don't accept it as abuse, but it is. If they say you're an idiot, you're a fool, and they call you a name. Listen, you cannot tell me I love you and you call me a name. It just doesn't go together. I love you and then you call me a name. Doesn't go together at all. For me, like you say you're stupid. To me, just calling me stupid in a relationship, that's abuse. I know that's like a basic. Anybody can call anybody stupid. No, you can't say you love me. We are doing life together, and then you call me stupid. I mean, like seriously, something as basic as that. Oh, you're so stupid. Even if you're joking, why are we saying that? Why are we using those words? So we have, if you're here and you're a mom, you have kids, they have to hear these things. You would carry yourself with so much confidence, and carry yourself with so much resolve that you see rubbish, you see BS from a mile away. If you don't see it a mile away, when you get in and you see it, you better pack your heart together and say, hey, I know you love me, but I can't do this. There's something, Vivi and I were having a conversation a long time ago, and she said she's too grown to take rubbish. And that stuck with me. She said it in pidgin, in Nigerian pidgin, but she said something to me. This is way, way, way long ago. She said she's too grown. That's how we should get. Even teenagers who are here who may listen to this, know that as a woman, as a man, you are too grown to take some BS. And if you're already in marriage where nonsense is happening, have a conversation. Hey, this is how we started. This is was intention. This is where we are. Where are we going? If you guys don't have that conversation without arguing, then there's a deeper issue than you guys care to talk about. If of all the billions of people in the world, you and I settle to be together, whether we're dating or married, then there's something outside. Do you understand? If we chose to be, yeah, see what if we chose to do life together, then there has to be a quality relationship. Yes, we have challenges, but the challenges shouldn't be so grave that anybody is considering divorce, separation, killing, beating up, all that stuff. No, it's not acceptable, guys. So before a relationship gets toxic, there's their signs. Women, you guys gather up. Let me ask you guys something. Men, come together. All of you, teenagers. Okay, teenagers, you guys wait first. You guys, just let's think about this. Think about it. Before a marriage goes bad, before we get into a relationship and then realize each other's weaknesses and flaws and stuff, we see signs, don't we? But we think the love is going to overcome it. And we think because of our love, everything is going to be okay. And everything should be okay. Depends on what it is. If I know what is like me now, there are issues that I have that I need to fix. But if my husband doesn't tell me what he thinks is, you understand? And sometimes we may not agree, but at least he's told me. If it's me for him, at least I've told him. There has to be that open line of communication. Like I'm telling you guys, because as I said it's so African, communication. I am so Nigerian sometimes. And for me personally, I think people should think, whether you're single, think. Whether you're in a relationship, think. Whether you're in a marriage, relationship is marriage, you're dating, think. If you're in a marriage, think. This is what Joe said. Joe said this is a powerful topic today, much needed. Says you are right, Jenny, especially for our teen girls in schools. Yes, a lot of teen girls are in school in toxic relationships where these boys are forcing them. Say, if you don't have sex with me, I'm gonna break up with you. And she feels like she's thinking about all the humiliation and all that stuff. Then she gives it up. Her parents don't know what's happening. Her friends may not know because they will encourage her to anyway. She thinks they will encourage her to. But I'm thinking that young girls should not be pressured. Listen, this topic is huge. It's huge, guys. We can come back and talk about it. If you've been abused before, how could you or how would you have avoided that? What was the best way for you to have avoided that? Yes, Joe said we see the signs and see them as a challenge instead of a red flag. Yes, we have to pay attention to these red flags. If you know who you are and you've accepted who you are as a person, like I said, you should see BS from a mile away. It is not acceptable to see red flags and sit there anyway. And anyway, so you guys see the red flags and don't take it for granted. Vivian says we always see signs, but we are blinded by our motives of going into the relationship. Yes, we are. That's the key word right there. We are blinded by our motives of going into the relationship just because you just want to be in there. So you know what? It's gonna be okay. And women and men are suffering. I was telling you guys last week and a half, I was speaking to a male. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Joe and Vivian, for that. Seriously, we have to check our motives. Like I said, be so confident and have that resolve. seriously in yourself that you can see the BS from a mile away. I'm telling you. Like you go to Instagram, see all these amazing weddings. I can tell the past 4 years I've been seeing weddings, amazing weddings. I'm like, chai, I need to go. For my husband has to do another wedding for me based on what I was seeing. And I asked myself, behind that wedding, what are they really going through? And then boom, you hear divorce, you hear separation, you hear killings. Like, can you see that Nigerian actress or whatever that between she's been abused? They've been together 18 years. She was being abused, and they televised it all the time. They were showing up. People just kept saying, "Oh, sorry, oh, sorry. I hope God." And people send her prayers. She's dead now. I have a friend of mine, Fatima. I will call her name. God rest her soul. 5 years ago, well, 6 years ago, I heard she was being abused. Guess what? Because she was a prominent member of a church, she said she couldn't leave her husband. Even the man's her father-in-law came and told her, Listen, leave for now and come back later. My son is not well." She said, "Oh, she's a prominent person. She's an example. How will she be an example? She's no longer an example. She's a dead example. Dead example." He beat her to death. Her child was 3 months old. He beat her throughout the pregnancy. He beat her before she got pregnant. He beat her for the first child. And she's dead and gone. Tell me she did not see the signs. The first time he hit her, she's like, "Well, she's gonna pray." You think Holy Spirit will come and jack the man away from your house? We as Christians always take religion to another level. Even it shocks Jesus of how silly we can be sometimes. We want to pray out bad behavior. Really? If the person doesn't see that they have a problem, you are stuck with that problem until you decide on what to do. Fatima is dead and gone. Her mom just died last week. She's dead and gone. Should I tell about my other cousin who I believe she got cancer based on the issues in that marriage? Her mother couldn't come around. Her siblings couldn't come around. The kids could not go to school. She was a lawyer, I think. She got her cancer. Immediately they diagnosed her. She was stage 4. Boom, dead. She was in her 30s. It starts from these things. They put you down. So let me just quickly review so we can finish up. I know. I said 20 minutes. Let me not take your time. But the reason I'm talking about this abuse in relationship, because it starts small. Somebody starts to name calling. They start to call you names. For you put name calling, put downs. So number one is signs of an abusive relationship or abuse in a relationship is, where is it at? Control, being controlling and possessive, right? The second one is jealousy. So controlling and possessive. The second one is jealousy. When they're jealous of you for some reason. For me, I will share that one day. You'll be amazed. What you're not thinking about, the person is thinking about. It's not acceptable. Know who you are, know the red flags. If these things are happening, know that you're not in a safe place and you have to decide. Then they put downs, telling you you're fat, you don't look good, you're stupid, all those things, and call you names. Threats, when they start to threaten you, I will hit you, I will deal with you, I will make sure you suffer, I will make sure that I will make sure you regret this relationship, I will, all those kind of talks. No, nobody said that to you. And then you're giving us fire, fire, fire. And then how many do we have? We had 5. Yes. Then the last one I'll talk about is physical and sexual violence. When you start being hit, the first slap I got, I'm like, ooh, what was that? I thought I was gonna die because I didn't expect that. It came from nowhere. There was no argument, nothing. It was like, whoop. And once you get that, you're in an abusive relationship. Because what if that slap make you hit your head somewhere where you get your eyes poked out, or hit your head where, like Fatima's, on her head opened. She hit her head. He hit her so hard, she hit her head on the side of the bed, and that was it. The 3 month old never know. I don't want to get emotional. The 3 month old never knew the mom. And to know that your mom died of abuse is absolutely, absolutely wrong. All right. So I've given you guys the 6 or the 7. Fire put Physical and sexual violence. It's the last one, the seventh one. That's what I can share with you guys today. I appreciate you guys. If you know somebody, talk to them. There are numbers here in the US where they can call for support. I will share the numbers later on. You guys are phenomenal. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. God bless you. Know yourself enough to see BS from afar. Trust yourself. Pray for God to guide you. Have positive, strong people around you so you can fight this thing. And always, 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 always know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. I appreciate you. You are phenomenal. God bless you. Don't stay in an abusive relationship. Don't take it. It is bad for you. Your husband, your boyfriend, your wife, your girlfriend should not use what you are your weakness to insult you, abuse you. All right, let me go. With that said, thank you for being here. God bless you guys. We're out. Next show we'll talk about this some more. Okay. Bye bye.